breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
And welcome back into the High School Fan Zone here on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. I'm Chois Woodman in for Randy Rosetta. Got about another half hour left with you, and now we're in the Liberty Patriot Fan Zone and talking some Patriot baseball, as they are the lone high school fan zone team left in the postseason, and visiting with Coach Lamar Kello and a couple of his studs on the baseball team. Before we even get to Coach Kello, I'll let you two guys introduce yourselves. I'll let you tell your favorite thing about Coach Kello and your least favorite thing about Coach Kello. Grab the mic. Tell everybody who you are.
What is your name?
All right, I'm Gavin McPherson.
And this is your second go-around on the show, too, right?
Yes, sir. I was here last week with Randy,
there we go.
I'm used to this kind of. I'm getting used to it. So, honestly, least favorite thing maybe bus driving sometimes. You know, you're sleeping and then he drives that thing like it's a NASCAR or something. So sometimes you fall off your seat or something while you're sleeping. That happens.
Great.
That tends to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what all the moms want to hear right now on the Fan Zone. So.
Yes, sir. And then favorite thing, I mean, he always sticks with you no matter how you're doing, ups and downs. He kind of knows how baseball works. So he's been pretty good this year. I mean, that's why we're kind of one of the lone teams in this area left. So, yeah, that's my favorite thing.
I'm Kaden Brewer. I'd say my favorite thing about Coach Kello is he understands that we want to bond and joke with each other as a baseball team.
Okay.
And it's just what we do as a relationship, and we build it. I feel like bus driving is that too. Maybe.
I really don't think I'm that bad of a bus driver.
No, you're good. It's just like sometimes you let Rogers drive too, and that gets going.
I was gonna say I gotta be better than Rogers.
You're better Rogers for sure.
That's great. That's awesome. Coach, glad to have you in today, and glad that you're still alive in the playoffs. Going 4 rounds deep is good. There are only good teams. No one lucks into to getting to this point. Obviously, you had some fun up against Randall. We'll get into that, but this is a pretty talented, takes talent, but also a resilient group to advance to this point.
Yeah. This is man. These kids, resilience a great word. That's a word I used on Saturday when I was talking to some people, but. Just the fight that they have in them, just never say die, and they stared the end of the season right in the face and overcame it, and they've done it many times. They did it as sophomores. We were 4 rounds deep when they were sophomores, and we didn't have juniors and seniors, and now here we are again on their way out of high school, trying to make one last run.
Okay, take us through what happened against Randall, because this was a back-and-forth series. This is one where you had to come from behind at times and beat a good baseball team.
Right. Randall hit the ball really, really well, and they jumped out on us on Friday night. They jumped out on us 7 runs in the first 2 innings. They were up 7-1. It was looking a little bit shaky, and we brought in Hudson Hefner to pitch, and Hudson has been battling injury. He pitched at the very beginning of the year and then had to sit out for a while.
Yeah.
And he had just started in the last few weeks. He had started getting some bullpens, and he had 1 appearance in a district game. And so he coming off injury, hadn't thrown much recently, and man, he was just outstanding. After they scored 7 runs the first 2 innings, he puts up 3 zeros after he had not been able to pitch for us in months. And so that just allowed our offense time to pick away at it. And, man, these kids just been hitting the ball so well in the playoffs, and that's what they did. They just started hitting the ball and a couple of big innings, and next thing we got the lead and even started to run away a little bit with it. And then after 3 innings, that was a long time for Hudson, with him not pitching so much recently, and Cooper Pierce came in through the last 2 more scoreless innings, and he's done that for us a lot this year, and we pulled that out. And then Saturday we ran into a tough guy on the mound. He got after us pretty good.
Sure.
We weren't quite ready to take him on, and he got the best of us. But it's like I told the guys that day after the game. I said, "Hey, you earned the right on Friday to slip up in a game, and now all things are even, and let's go do our thing." And we did. We played well. We hit the ball well again, and we jumped out to a decent little lead. But then they kind of fought back and ended up tying the game. And then we go to last inning tied, and they pushed across 3. And man, it just seemed like these kids were kind of running out of ways to come back and come from behind and fight, and,
Sure.
and you thought maybe they couldn't do it one more time, but sure enough they did. That bottom of the 7th, they found a way to get 4, and here we are.
And I think did you get the game-winning hit in that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kaden got the game-winning hit. Was this the biggest hit of your career so far? Or you got anything bigger than that?
I feel like it's the biggest hit of my career. It moved us on to the 4th round.
I mean, that's about as big as it kid
Yes,
can
sir.
get for sure. And you'll have the Brock Eagles waiting on the other side. But it didn't hurt my feeling to see you guys beat Randall. He used to be an old district rival of mine. So anytime I see the old Raiders go down. But that's a really good baseball team you guys beat. You're talking about the hitting, and it seems like the clutch hitting is what you guys have been so good at. Is that one of those things that's contagious with the team where you see it throughout, or is it just an individual gene for some of these guys?
Somebody else mentioned that to me just this week when they were talking to me about our game, and it really kind of is. For whatever reason, these kids, they feed off each other really well.
Mm-hmm.
In our first round playoff game, we won both games by only scoring in 2 innings. We scored in 1 inning each game.
Sure.
But in 1 inning, we had 6 guys get hits, and
Right.
4 of them were extra base hits. And it's like they just hey, you're going to do it, I'm going to do it too. And and they did it then, and then this time they did it, multiple innings. And but yeah, I do believe it is a little contagious with them.
We'll talk about that. We'll get into some of the pitching. We will also look ahead to the Brock series this weekend, tell you when and where you can catch it as well. That's all ahead. It's the High School Fan Zone, Liberty Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back here in the High School Fan Zone, Liberty Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Visiting with couple of Patriots as well as Coach Lamar Kello here in the First United Bank studio. Coach Kello, this is a team that's got quite a bit of experience, a senior-oriented team. I was just visiting with Coach Villegas in Memorial. You guys have gone through that a couple of years ago where you had to kind of grow up through a lot of youth and get to the point you're at right now. How much do you think that helped going through some of that early on to get to the point where you're at?
It has helped a ton, more than I even realized it would. I knew, when 2 years ago when we were starting this thing, I knew that most of those kids would probably end up being 3-year starters, and you usually have 1 or 2 kids on your team that are 3-year starters, but you don't usually have 7 or 8 on your team that are 3-year starters.
Sure.
And so I knew it would help, but when I see our kids react in the tight situations like we did Saturday, I can't help but just believe that so much of that is because of what they have been able to go through together and for so long, and being able to just lean on those experiences and each other that they went through it together with. Because even when you have a kid that's played 3 years varsity, he's having to do it with different guys each time, and these guys have done it with the whole core of them
right.
Every year. So yeah, it's helped a lot.
There's no simulation for experience.
Oh, absolutely.
And it seems like your team has plenty of it. Okay, guys, I'll ask you this question. Y'all can both answer it. What do you feel like the strength is on this team? What do you think makes this team as good as it is, and why you're still playing this late in the season?
We have a real close team, really good bonding because we haven't graduated anyone for 2 years, and this has brought us closer and made us work as a team. And we're always together for each other.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll kind of follow up with what Kaden just said. I mean, we haven't graduated anybody. A lot of us have actually played together since we were.
Sure.
I mean, we picked up a baseball together, a lot of us. So, and I mean, we never know when our last time we'll be touching a baseball because a lot of these guys aren't gonna go play at the next level. So if they don't want to. So, I mean, we're kind of leaving it all out there right now. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't want to be our last time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Never do. And there's only one team that in each division that gets to finish it the way they want to. But a lot of you guys, I mean, there was a lot of players on this team 2 years ago that we just talked about that on a lot of sophomores that played against Brock, right?
Yep.
And I think that was a 4th round game as well. So this is a rematch for a lot of your guys.
Yeah, it is. It is. Funny thing about it, we talk about, how all these kids, they've done it, all the years, the experience, they've done it together for 3 years. And one thing that Coach Musgrave and I have been, mentioning to the kids, like, hey, y'all keep talking about Brock, but we are the same team. They are not the same team.
Very true.
There are 2 kids in their starting lineup that played against us. Well, 3, I guess, because their top pitcher this year was not a hitter in that lineup, but he did pitch in that lineup.
Sure.
The shortstop and the second baseman from that year are the only 2 from the 8 position players that are on the team this year. So they are a lot different team. Now, they're still very good, no doubt about it. They're still very good. They pitch the ball really well, and they've got a few guys that can really hit. But they are a totally different team.
It feels like there's always those teams at each level that just have that reputation, at least in Region 1. 6A, South Lake Carroll's good at everything. Alito's good at everything at 5A. And it seems like it's Brock at the 4A level.
Right. And Brock is they've built quite the school there because it was only a couple years ago they were 3A.
Yeah.
And they were the team that was really good at everything in 3A.
True.
And they didn't miss a beat when they came up to 4A. They play well at everything. It doesn't. I mean, our robotics team went to state and they saw Brock there. It doesn't matter what we're doing. There's Brock is always. We did beat them, by the way, but
yes.
But yeah, they're our golf team also beat them, but they're there. They're there in football. They're there in basketball. They're there in everything.
There's those reputation teams. We'll get into the actual matchups. Look ahead to Brock and talk about when and where you can catch these games this weekend. That's coming up next. So we'll be back for one more part of the Liberty Patriot Fan Zone with the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back here for one more. It is the High School Fan Zone, 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Thanks for joining us on this Monday evening, the last Monday Fan Zone of the year. So if the Patriots keep going, I don't know, maybe we'll have to have an emergency episode or something. Get Randy to get you guys on because we're hoping that that's the case. We'll let you guys answer first before we go back to Coach Kello. But let's see if y'all have got the coach speak down or how this goes. What does your team need to do well in order to get a series victory and move on to the Final Four in the state?
I looked at Evan O'Connor's numbers. I looked at other guys' numbers. They're big on strikeouts. So their pitchers strike everyone out. We can't strike out. We have to put the ball in play and put pressure on them, make them make plays. Pitching-wise, we got those strikes, not give up free passes.
Sure.
Because once we give up free passes, they're going to be a clutch team that drives in those runners when they get the free passes. They're going to be aggressive. So we just got to make sure to play our game and know what we're good at.
I hope Brock doesn't watch this, but we got some intel from Canyon, the team that just played them.
Oh, goodness.
And he kind of told us, he told us that they got some guys that like to hit the ball poolside, so kind of throw them on the outer half a little bit.
Good.
Obviously, about pitchers throwing strikes. I think our pitchers, throwing strikes, but be more specific, kind of first pitch strikes.
Sure.
Because once they get down 2-0, the batter knows what's coming. It's going to be a fastball somewhere. And that's whenever they're going to kind of make us pay for not throwing first pitch strikes. And then I heard they do like to bunt if they get the leadoff guy on, and we kind of struggled a little bit with bunt defense, a little bit in the Randall game. So, yeah, I kind of like that. And honestly, just come as a team and kind of do what we did against Randall because, look, it's baseball. Anything can happen. I know they got a guy going to some D1, but, I mean, we all bleed the same, so I don't know.
Yep.
So, yes, sir. Something like that.
It's one guy out of 9, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is an interesting group, but, I mean, you guys have been really good offensively this year. The lineup seems pretty stacked 1 through 9. Doesn't seem like you really have holes there. You scored 12 runs or more in 3 of your last 4 games. So it seems like the offense has got something going right now. But this would be a couple of the best pitchers, at least in the first 2 games to go up against.
And we have, and you asked the boys the strength of the team, and they gave a good answer. But if you want a baseball answer, something to do with hitting would be the strength of our team. We've got some pitchers that have really come through for us in some key moments, but throughout the course of the year, what we rely on is, as far as the baseball skills would be, the offense. In the way we hit the ball. They're 100% right, though. Their camaraderie and the way they have bonded together and spent time together, it allows them to do those things, better and comfortable together. And so, I'm not saying their answer wasn't correct. I just want to add the baseball part to that answer, But what we have struggled at times with is when we face a good pitcher, and we got to make sure that we fix that. It's just like this past weekend, we put up 2 really big offensive numbers, and we had one game where we didn't. Yep. And when we face a guy that's good, we gotta. It's exactly what they say. We have to pressure them. It's one thing to make an out, but it's another thing to keep striking out and not pressuring their defense and forcing them to make plays. And our pitching, our pitching's not going to go strike out 12 in the game, and these guys are 100% right on that. Is that our pitchers, we have to go throw strikes. We can't give them free passes with walks and hit by pitch, and we can't give them free bases because we let them on with an error. If you're going to beat a good team, you have to eliminate those things. I mean, those guys, they're good and they're going to get some hits, but what you can't do is you can't give them a hit by pitch, a walk, and then a double. That's 2 runs. You just give up a double and it's a double. And we move on. So we just have to make sure that we take care of business with those things. For sure. And also mention the first pitch strike, getting ahead in the counts and making hitters, guess. And that's the key to all of it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Randy Johnson was successful, but so was Greg Maddox. You guys probably don't even know who those guys are.
Oh, I know.
They know those two.
Okay.
You could have picked some other guys.
There's different ways. There's different ways to do it, for sure. Regional Championship Series against Brock this week, 6 o'clock on Friday at ACU, noon on Saturday. Game 3 follows that. We'll have all of those games coming up for you on 100.7 The Score right here. Everybody, good luck. We're rooting for you. Hopefully we get to talk some state semifinals next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's been the High School Fan Zone. Thanks to Kyler Brown. I'm Chois Woodman right here on 100.7 The Score.